Well, I did say in my previous video that I was going to try and get to the Lake District before I went away snowboarding. I go away snowboarding tomorrow and I haven't came to the Lake District, and that's because, as you might be able to see, the sky has just been horrible, overcast the whole time, so I didn't really think it was worth going. There basically hasn't been any sunlight. I just thought I would explain that because I don't like to say I'm going to do something and then not do it. But what I am going to do in this video is, after my video where I spoke about why I got the DJI Spark and not the Mavic Air, a lot of people commented to say that they had also just gotten the DJI Spark, and one or two people were kind of nervous, worried about the possibility of crashing it. So I thought in this video what I'd do is kind of give you some tips on how not to crash your drone. Having learned from my mistakes from my previous drone, I'm going to tell you how you can avoid crashing your drone. Okay, so let's get the boring technical stuff out of the way first. When you first get your drone, you'll want to calibrate both your IMU and your compass just to ensure that all the sensors are working as they should be and that your drone is responding as it should be. So once you've got your drone set up and connected, if you go into settings and then go into MC settings, then scroll down to the bottom and go to advanced settings. And then you will see an option for sensor state. From here you can see the state of your sensors and you can calibrate them. So hit calibrate and then it will guide you through the process. It's a simple process. Basically all you have to do is hold the drone in certain positions. This isn't something you'll need to do every time you fly your drone, but certainly a good idea to do it when you first get it. And also if you're traveling with your drone, then it's a good idea to calibrate the sensors again then. Also, if your drone is acting a bit strangely and isn't responding the way that it should be, then calibrating the sensors again will probably solve the problem. So at the top of the screen you can see that I've got GPS, and you can also see the number of satellites that the drone has picked up. So you can see it's currently it's flipping between 15 and 16 satellites it's picking up. That's pretty normal what I get. When I was in northern Norway, there was times when it was only picking up like 4 satellites. I don't know if that's to do with being so far north or what, but that was actually giving me a few problems. I was using GPS quite a lot. So that's one thing to be aware of. Just make sure that your GPS is good and how many satellites you're picking up. If you've got weak GPS, no GPS, or it's not picking up many satellites, then either don't fly it or just be careful when you are flying it. And I would say certainly keep it in your line of vision. So if you have got weak GPS and you keep losing your GPS signal, then probably not a good idea to fly it out of view, and definitely not a good idea to fly it above the sea in the Norwegian fjords. I mean, what kind of an idiot would do that? You can also see the battery meter at the top there, counting down. Once the battery level gets too low, then the drone will automatically return home. Now, you can cancel this. What I would say is it's probably not a good idea to cancel it. These drones are very intelligent. Sometimes it can be tempting to cancel it, especially if you're just about to get a particular shot that you want to get. Just be very, very careful. Again, when I was flying it above the Norwegian Sea, I cancelled that and then I lost GPS. I didn't know where the drone was and very, very nearly lost my drone. Only cancel it if the drone is close to you anyway and you can see it and you know you can get it back safe and sound. Otherwise, let the drone return home by itself. On that note, under settings, if we go back to the MC settings, you can set the return to home altitude. Now I've set this to 50 meters. What that means is that when the drone does return home, it will automatically fly to an altitude of 50 meters in the sky, and then it will return home. What that means is because it's flying at a high level and then returning home, it will avoid any kind of obstacles. So it should avoid any obstacles, because when it's automatically returning home, the sensors are disabled, so it will just fly. So if you've got that set low to say 5 meters, then it's only hovering not far off the ground and it will just return home regardless of what's in front of it. So I would say 50 meters is pretty good, because that means it's nice and high in the sky, and when it's returning home, it's not likely to hit anything. This thing can go really high. It's very windy today, so I don't actually want to get it too high. So apologies for not actually being able to record anything nice here. Well, there you go, there's Carlisle. Isn't it pretty? Right, I'm going to talk about sport mode now. So if I bring it back down and bring it close to me. Yikes. So I've got it in normal mode at the moment. So if I just move the joystick as far forward as it can, this is how fast it moves. Not too bad. But if I now flick it into sport mode and do the same again, and this is the difference. I've got to say, in sport mode, it is flipping mental. When it is in sport mode, it disables the sensors. Because it is moving so fast, then the sensors wouldn't be able to react quick enough, and it certainly won't be able to stop. So the sensors are disabled, so be aware of that as well. Only use it in sport mode if you're in a big open space like I am at the moment. Probably best not to use it when it's as windy as it is today either. That is absolutely insane. Even in a big open space, I'm like anxious about flying it. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, so just be careful in sport mode. Certainly don't put it in sport mode if you're, say, in the Lake District and surrounded by trees. I mean, what kind of an idiot does that? Jesus Christ. And I think the only other final thing to point out is one button that could well save you here is that little pause button there. Now, I just assumed that was to like pause recording when you're recording a video. It's not. When you press that button, then the drone will just stop flying and just hover. So if you're in one of the automatic flying modes, for example, let's try that now. If I put it into one of the quick shots, come on, and let's just go, what droney will do, let's go for that. So there it goes, it's flying by itself now, it's in the droning mode. Now let's say I noticed that it's about to hit something behind it. If I press pause now, it just stops and just hovers where it is. And then I can bring it safely back. So that's it really, not an awful lot to it, just basically use your common sense. Something I possibly lacked with my first drone at times, but yeah, just be sensible. Make sure you're picking up plenty of satellites, and don't put it in sport mode in confined spaces and things like that. Other than that, just have fun with it and don't be afraid to fly it. I know when you first get it and you're not used to it and they're so expensive, you can be a bit anxious flying it, worried about crashing it and things. There's no point in getting a drone if you're too afraid to fly it. When I first got mine, I didn't make as full use of it as I could have done. You will find once you start flying with it, you'll get pretty confident with it pretty quickly. And once you get the hang of it, they are quite easy to fly. So don't be afraid to get it out and just have fun with it. Maybe keep it in beginner mode when you first get it, just until you do get used to the controls. And then, yeah, you'll soon get the hang of it. Right, I've got to be honest with you, I am freezing my tits off. So I'm gonna get back to my nice warm flat now. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye. God, it's cold.